So is the lighting okay? Lighting okay? Okay. Distribution, right? So he's got a product he made, he has to get it out to his customers. Okay? And then he's got, well, on the website it's 106, but it's over 154 now. So he's expanded his business into other areas. So let's stick here for just a minute and let's try to kind of talk to him about it, or have him explain, hey, what'd you get in the sauce business? What made you do that?
Back in 2012, I had a hot wing business in Saraland, Alabama, and got talked into opening it up for my wife's friend. She said, open it up and I'll run it for you. 2 weeks into it, she runs and goes to shack up with a guy 300 miles away. So I got left holding the bag. So it didn't work out too well. So I sold it, wound up selling it to a buddy of mine. And he couldn't, handle business. So they wound up closing it down. Then about a year later, people kept coming to me saying, well, you open another one, we want that sauce. I said the closest thing you're gonna get to this is some more sauce in the bottle. You make your own chicken. But so time went by, and last September when I officially launched it back open. We got all automatic bottling equipment, do everything in-house, labeling, the whole nine, and we just took it from there. It was meant to be a slow process. It wasn't meant to be nothing like it is right now. Just everybody, talking to everybody, word of mouth is better advertising than any paid advertising.
So you had a product that was initially in a hot wing store, right? And who here likes hot wings? Yeah. So most of us were like, yeah, we want to try this stuff. Okay. What's the best wing in Tuscaloosa, in y'all's opinion? Who's got the best wings in Tuscaloosa? Who? Voodoo's got the best. Guess what? Voodoo actually carries your product, right?
Yes, sir.
Voodoo's got his product over
They have it in all their locations in Las Vegas, here, Auburn, Florence, Huntsville, and they got 2 stores in Mobile.
Yeah, so had a business with a hot wing, cooking the chicken, decided, hey, just want to focus in on the sauce. You guys cook your own wings, I'll deliver the sauce. So transition from that and now grown into a much larger operation. It got the automatic bottling, got the labeling. Okay, so those are those operational things that we have. Physical locations. So what's that like to actually, okay, we're taking things into physical location. So what's it like for you to take your product and deliver it to one of these 154 or so locations?
Well, getting the people to hear you out and talk to you is the main obstacle. And basically got to promise them the moon and deliver the rockets to them. And
so you got to say you can deliver, you can agree to the
you got to do what you're going to say you're going to
deliver.
do, and do it when you say you're going to do it.
Do it when you do it, say when you're going to do it, and do it when you say you're going to do it. So you can't be flaky about it. You have to, it's kind of it sounds like an agreement that you make for
Yes, sir.
delivering and being there.
And like I was talking to y'all's professor before class, it's not like an automated system for fulfillment. These guys won't call you and won't say, hey man, I'm out, will you bring something by? I'll probably have 3 customers out of 150 something that'll do that.
So
You got all these big stores like Rouse's, Piggly Wiggly, Greer's. We got big chains that are in. We've got Walmart online, Amazon, eBay. And of course, eBay, Amazon, and all them, they'll tell you when your product's starting getting low, when you need to restock or whatever. But in these stores, it's called DSD, direct store delivery. And that's what they expect you to do. It's like a one-on-one customer relationship with the stores.
So they want you to come and visit them and see
sir.
where your product is on a regular basis, to have that direct store delivery. That
But the
DSD
furthest point that we
relationship.
have is Orange Beach, Alabama to the Mississippi, Louisiana line.
Mhm.
And it looks like the plague on the map. There's so many of them. They all on top of each other. Because this guy over here has it, and you get a call from her, hey, I want that stuff that they selling over there,
So for distribution, how many people do you actually have going and doing the direct store delivery?
I have one guy that owns the majority of all the Little Debbie snack cakes. I think
Okay.
everybody likes Little Debbie's.
Sure.
He works it in with his, route that he's got already, and he does a pretty good bit of it himself, and, but I got two guys in-house that does the other part that he don't do, so, you know, we, even in the Forest Creek Indian thing, store, Conecuh Sausage Factory in, Evergreen, they made me sign a 30-mile radius no compete thing, that
Really?
nobody else couldn't sell it around now.
How about that? Okay, so in these direct store deliveries, sometimes you gotta go through some, agreements as far as 30-mile radius with Conecuh.
But the only time you wanna do that is if they gonna promise some numbers or whatever. You don't want them to sell 3 bottles and you tie up all this area for nothing.
Yeah, so they gotta agree to some type of sale.
Yeah, they move a lot of product over there.
Oh, yeah, they do quite a bit of product. Anybody had Conecuh sausage? Do you know that Conecuh is not necessarily offered outside a certain area? Like, you know, you can't really go up, I would think, to Kentucky or Virginia and get Conecuh sausage. So it's an interesting thing. Now, you can order it online, right? Just like you can order his product online. But we're talking about in-store distribution. So he's got 3 guys basically covering 154 or so locations to actually provide the product. One guy's the agreement with Hostess, and the guy that delivers the Little Debbie cakes, and then 2 that are working for him covering the rest. Now, if the stores, right, we're talking business intelligence this week. So we're talking about when product is low, having some type of trigger, some type of flag, or some type of message that says, product's low, let's restock. That's not happening right now. So what he's explaining is, hey, only about 3 of the 154 locations will do that for him. The others expect the individual relationship.
They want the white glove treatment.
Yeah, they want, hey, how's the product doing? We doing okay? Now, his product, right, is on the shelf next to products that you may have seen before. Like, what's another hot sauce? You might have seen a competitor, right? Let's start talking about how this impacts business. What's another competitor hot sauce?
What's something that y'all like?
Right.
Crystal, all right, I heard Texas Pete out there, Crystal.
There's some guy trying to sue Texas Pete because right now, because it's not made in Texas.
Oh my, Texas Pete not made in Texas, so somebody got a lawsuit on it. Oh man. And I imagine that happens, right? A business comes about and there's a lawsuit thrown down about something. Hey, it's hot. That hot sauce was too hot. I mean, you got some things in here. Let's take a look at some more stuff. Going too far? So, last week, social media information system. Now, what we have here at Big Al Sauce Company is a Facebook page that was created back in September of 2021. And it's gotten, 500 reviews, 1,500 people like. It's got 779 check-ins, and the last review out there was back in the summer on the 13th. So if you go out, you can kind of look at data and look at information. So if you're a consumer, right, and you're interested in the product, you go check it out, see what some reviews are. You probably buy it and try it yourself rather than rely on the review. But our question to you, Daniel, would be, hey, have you seen business increase from social media? And how?
Yes, sir, because that's the social media can make you or break you. You can either make people happy on there, or you can make them mad, and they're gonna slice you and dice you.
So social media, to a small business person or any organization, social media can make you or break you. Not mine, quoted from the man, right? Quoted from the owner. It can make you or break it. If there's a bad review, it can really hurt your business. So I would imagine.
I'll give y'all an example of that. I ain't trying to stop
No.
you. I got the largest locksmith company in Mobile. Had one of my guys answer the phone the other day. The customer asked him, he said, "What's your name?" He said, "That's irrelevant what my name is." He's lucky he still got a job today. Matter of fact, I made him drive me up here today for part of his punishment.
Is he here now? Or
No,
he
he ain't
stand
here.
up?
No, he ain't here. But he's I told him, And he didn't do it being a, you know, I guess,
He didn't do
a
it on
butt or
purpose.
whatever.
Yeah.
He wasn't paying attention to what he was saying or what he was doing. He was a young guy. I said, well, you can't do that in business. I said, and there was this older guy, he was probably 70, 80 years old. So when I called to try to smooth the deal over with him, he talked to me on the phone for over an hour. I could tell he was a lonely old man and didn't have nobody to talk to. So, and I had to hear about his grandkids, his birds, his chickens, and everything else. And I just let him fill my ear up or whatever, but I got him to change the review.
Now, this
So-
is on another business that he owns. He owns a locksmith business as well. So he had a customer call in and didn't receive a very favorable customer service experience. And that's why he had, you know, his.
I had to go the extra mile to make sure he was happy to get him to change his mind.
So in person, you know, that customer service really matters. Not just the online review, obviously, but the in-person too. And I would imagine if you got a poor review online, you might address it. You might go out there and say, hey, I'm really sorry you had a bad experience. Let me do this for you. And if you haven't noticed, some of you guys have gone to maybe a restaurant and maybe you've left a review that was either positive or if it was negative, maybe that negative review actually got a response from the business owner themselves. And yeah, I've certainly seen it, right? Hey, this is so-and-so. We want to make sure you have a good experience with our organization. Let me do this for you. I bought a Toyota Tacoma in April. Bought the warranty, did all that good stuff, you know, spent a pretty good amount of money with it. Take it for its first service. And in the service, they wanted to add additional things to bring it up to the warranty specification. I'm like, I just bought this thing. You telling me I need to spend $2,500 on this? Yeah. I was like, well, why wasn't that done before I bought it? Well, we're responsible for kind of the safety repairs, making sure it's up to code of safety, but maintenance is a different story. And I said, so this thing's out of maintenance? Yes. So I need to spend this to bring it up to maintenance code so my warranty looks good? Yes. I wasn't very happy. So I expressed it, and what did the Toyota dealership do? They said, hey, we're gonna take care of a couple things to try to make this right for you. Okay, let's try to make something happen. So yeah, you think the bad review or the bad comment is not worth doing? It is. You're going to get some type of response. Now, maybe it's not the response you want. Maybe they say, hey, sorry, please don't ever come back. You know, and that could happen. But more than likely, the business owner is concerned about you as a customer because he wants his organization, or she wants his organization to be successful. So we got those things. A couple things, if you guys want to check out website stuff, he's got a website out there as well. So he's got a Facebook presence. He's got a website. Do you have a website for all of the businesses you have?
Yes, we do.
Okay, so every business he's got multiple websites, multiple things going on. How do they?
I'm just ADD, okay? I just,
How is it managed?
it's it helps a lot, you know. We got different things going on because we got the philosophy that don't put all your eggs in one basket. Something slow, got something else, pick it up, you know, because you got to eat and pay your bills one way or another. They ain't gonna hear, well, the business is slow this week, I can't pay you. They lose your power.
Yeah. And being an entrepreneur, being a self-made business person, you don't have an organization. Just if you have a bad week, the organization is still going to carry you for that day. That's not the way in a self-owned business. I mean, you got to perform every week, or you got to find some of these other things. If one area is slow, find another area that can pick up. So what's the best business that you've got running right now? Is it the lock business? Like the most?
We've had that for 23 years.
23-year
in
lock
January
business.
for 23 years.
That's pretty long running, right? 23-year established business.
Got 14 technicians altogether.
Okay, so larger operation, 14 technicians.
I was one of them.
One of them right here, he's a pro wrestler too, so I would not mess with the man. You know, slam you. But the thing is, so how many people have an idea to start your own business? Let's take a break for a minute and let's have that conversation.
Does anybody have any interest in working for yourself when y'all get out of college?
I'm shocked. Y'all just don't want to raise your hands. I'm shocked. Yeah, well, okay, one. Okay, good. Yeah, you got the Houston Astro colors going on today too. I'll tell you, you got okay. But we're out of the playoffs, are we not? Are we still in? We in? We just swept the Yankees. I lost interest when the Cardinals stepped away. So does that mean you're going to World Series against Phillies?
Maybe. I was at all the home games with the Astros.
Okay. Maybe you're going. Okay. Cool. Derailed side conversation. We'll have to come back to that because baseball is one of those things we got to pay attention to now. World Series is coming. For the lock business, for his business in sauce, finding a need that's out there and then trying to be able to fill that need in a way that is better than anybody else. And how do you know how that's happening? So when do you know that you need to hire the 15th guy at the lock and key business?
When the 14th one stops working.
When the 14th one stops working. I would think maybe when you get more business. I would think if you get more.
Yeah, we're actually in the process of expanding. I just bought another van last week.
Yeah.
And visiting to hire one more.
So businesses expanded, you have a larger area of coverage, maybe you expand into a different area. So in small businesses in our area, right, we have a lot of lawn care businesses in Birmingham. And these guys kind of know their area to work. And if one lawn care business is in an area that they're not supposed to be in, you'll see a conversation had between the two lawn care companies. Does that happen in the lock and key business?
No, because the only people left really is the older guys, and they barely even work anymore, so they're on the downslide of retiring.
Oh, okay, hold on. So that example that I just gave doesn't necessarily happen because there's not many people in the lock and key business anymore. Now, one reason that could be is, the older guys are retiring and nobody's really stepping up to fill that void, right? Another reason could be
It's even hard to find people to work, period, so.
find people to
Ain't worried
work.
about competition.
Or how many of you guys are using cars that don't require the key anymore? You still have to have some type of key fob.
We unlock them, we do security cameras, alarm systems on businesses.
Okay, so he's-
We do the whole nine.
It's not just locking, security cameras, all,
Yes, sir.
so he's got the
Full service.
whole full service security detail there.
We're on a sign business as well, and we utilize the benefits from the sign business to do all our marketing and stuff in-house. So we don't have to pay all the extra high dollar money to all these big sign companies that do stuff. We let our own vehicles, do our own business cards, the whole nine.
I just had the desire to have my truck lettered, we put some St. Louis stuff on it,
Yeah.
probably not, that would be, no, that's cool. These are the type of products, right, that you guys are doing for the sauce business. You said you might have a couple more things out there.
We got 4 new ones coming out in January: a blackening seasoning, shrimp and crab boil, a chili kit, and another type of seasoning.
So he's got 4 new products coming out, a chili kit, a blackened seasoning. How do you determine which
Just
product you
input
want to try?
from different people asking, can we do that, or,
Okay,
I had it originally figured to do 6, 7, 8, but I don't want to jump into too much at one time,
So-
but it takes a lot to market everything.
so if I came up and said, hey, I really like blackened shrimp and I'd love it if you had a product that could, help me out with blackened shrimp, how many people do you need to get before you go, yeah, let's try that? Let's see if that product takes off.
With all the grocery stores and stuff and demoing, and you like to go in the grocery store and buy food, and they in there giving samples and stuff away. I've had people to do that, and just getting different input from different customers.
So the grocery stores having people maybe do samples and things. Now here's something that may impact the sample, right? So grocery stores today have the ability to have ship or, have groceries delivered. that might impact if you're able to get, the actual product to be sampled. So it might impact, right? If your plan is, hey, we're gonna put this in the sample aisle, but the number of people actually going into the physical store now is reduced, because if people are like my wife, she doesn't have time to go to the grocery store anymore. She has groceries delivered to her.
You got a picture of that food trailer?
Oh, yeah.
We bought this food trailer back, started the summer, and doing car shows and different promotional stuff. We had a deal worked out with Conecuh, basically feeding people for free. Got them hooked on the sauce that way. So
Yeah, so this is a way to mitigate people not going into the grocery store. You take the product to them. You take the product to them through either maybe a corporate event, a car show, a birthday party, but you take it to the people. If you see a reduction in one area, you shut it. So when I say just business savvy.
I'm not saying just shut that one down or nothing, just
Yeah.
you wanna have something else to help fill the void.
Find an alternate method. Now, I like this as well. So we have a table set up.
Cause I was at the big car show we had in Mobile.
Yeah,
The battleship.
people come by at the battleship, at the battleship, Alabama, USS Alabama right there. So,
The gallons is what Voodoo gets.
I'm gonna have to go to that voodoo room now. Be honest, I've not tried voodoo wings, so your recommendation, I appreciate that, I'm gonna have to go.
Some of the they said one of the students from college stole the Big Al sign out of there.
Oh, well,
They-
somebody.
I guess they liked it, so it's in around the college somewhere.
Yeah, if you know the Big Al sign right there, somebody borrowed it for a little while, if they would.
We don't replace it, it don't matter.
Send it out in group meeting, please, maybe return the Big Al sign, that'd be great.
It ain't a big thing.
Just different uses for this, right? Here's another way to get product out that you combine it.
This is the top seller we have though on our website. It's got the Alabama swamp juice, the Louisiana, and both of the seasonings that we have. It's $25, so it's selling a pretty good bit of that one.
So this is his biggest seller, this, gift pack, because it has just everything you might want to try there, right? Like I've tried the swamp juice, I'm ready to try the liquid fire. I just probably, do I need to have milk here, Bob? No, okay, I'm good, I'm not gonna hurt myself. So swamp dust, I got that too. It's interesting to see. Some of us are concerned about, okay, what is in that? Having the ingredients labeled and things like that, so we can look and say, okay, I recognize all those ingredients. Have you guys ever gone into the store and looked in the back of the label and gone, I don't know half of what's in here? Have you ever done that? Now, on this, I can actually look at this and go, okay, the only thing maybe that special blend of spices, I'm not sure about, but that's might be some of that secret proprietary stuff. I can tell you, but after I tell you, okay.
Nobody puts everything they put on the label.
Yeah, nobody puts everything there, but some of it I can barely even stand.
Let me tell y'all the marketing scheme behind this. We tried to sell the Alabama swamp juice in Louisiana. People wasn't having it. They wouldn't buy it for nothing. Couldn't even give it to them. So
Any Louisiana people in the house? Anybody from Louisiana in here? So this is that funny. Okay, let's try to market something a different way. Nobody in Louisiana would buy a product that had Alabama on its label. Anything Alabama, they're not buying it. Y'all believe that? I do. They're like, hey, no, we ain't buying Alabama stuff. So we had to have a more creative distribution plan for the sauce going into Louisiana. So we changed the name up a little bit. Louisiana swamp juice. I kind of like it. I think that's brilliant.
it's a little bit hotter than the Alabama, because of Louisiana.
Oh, it is a little different.
Yeah, just a
It's
little bit.
a slightly different mix, a slightly different marketing label. I love it. That's good stuff. Now, would you say you wanted to expand into Florida, Texas, Mississippi? Are you going to, go through?
We're going. We got 19 of the Rouse's stores about 3 months ago, and in January we're getting all the rest of them, and all of Louisiana, so.
Okay, so you got 19 Rouses. The only place I know where Rouses is down in
They're
New
all on the
Orleans.
Gulf Coast down there.
All in,
There ain't
okay,
no-
all
there
in
ain't
the
no
Gulf
place.
Coast. That's pretty cool. Okay, so I just wanted to share with you guys kind of some of the product and give you some insight into, hey, how are some of these decisions made?
Did you make separate, like, social media for the Louisiana one? Or did you do-
No, it's all marketed under the same brand, the Big Al Salt Company.
So the question is, did you do anything differently for social media on this? And this would be kind of what's different. It's, you click on the website, you go to the products, and you'll see the various products that he's got. You know, it'll be a separate product for the Louisiana sauce, a separate product for Alabama sauce. Or swamp juice.
Any question anybody has, please ask.
Yeah, what,
The only stupid question, the one that asked.
well, here's a question right here. Yes, sir.
How difficult is it to get your products inside of stores?
It's a lot of brown noses.
The question, let me repeat, is how difficult is it to get your product into the physical store? And I'll shorten the response, it's pretty difficult.
If you go to the people, you know, dressed professional, you know, go in there and talk to them, you know, a lot of 9 times out of 10, they don't have a problem, you know, giving you a chance. It's not hard.
So a lot of times, most physical locations want to give you a chance. They
You want to start out with your individual on places first, build your presence, because you can't go jump to like Walmart and say, hey, well, you carry my stuff, where are you at? Nowhere, you know? You can use the little guys and say, well, I'm over here, here, you know? And that's, you build your building blocks up and you go and build it from there.
Now Walmart's, I think we can all agree, a pretty big distributor that would be a major win, right? If
It took me over a year to get in Walmart.
took him a year,
And I
you got
was
there.
constantly emailing them like a thorn in their side, really. As long as you don't give up, you know, these people gonna say, well, hey, Stoker's pretty persistent, you know. They're gonna get tired of you calling them after a while, and they're gonna give in.
So let's think about this. You have 106 locations and there's smaller grocery chains and things like that. You get on with Walmart, right? Now, how many more people do you have access to? And you guys think about it. Give me some kind of just number out there. What do you think?
Get on
as
their
far as the
platform, get in
number?
front of millions of people.
Yeah. So now, millions more have access to your product. So the business decisions, right? The other day, we saw a video where Tommy Hilfiger was looking at social media and looking at, you know, the Instagram pages of some of the, you know, people he thought might be able to carry his brand well. So that's maybe kind of the next thing I would think is a question of, hey, have you done any commercial work, or have you done anything to like put it in front of like the wrestling community down there, the drag racing community?
We sponsor 4 racing teams. And
Okay.
They all got all this all over their cars down there.
So he's already sponsoring 4 racing teams. Anybody been to a race? Okay, enjoy it. Which one did you go to?
I've been to a NASCAR race.
You've been to a NASCAR race in Atlanta?
No, Talladega.
Talladega. Oh, you went to Talladega. Okay, yeah. It's an experience. If you hadn't been, it's an experience. But these racers aren't in Talladega. These are in Mobile specifically,
Down
right?
on the coastline.
Down on the coastline.
Yeah,
Okay.
Pensacola, you know, Mobile, Biloxi.
Okay. So before we go, what would a expansion plan look like for you guys as far as your small business? And you're on the coastline, but getting, you know, further up, like, would you ever have the aspiration, obviously you're already in Tuscaloosa,
Yes, sir.
but Huntsville's the fastest growing city in Alabama right now.
If I could do more shipping and stuff to them and fulfillment, you know, it'd be a whole lot better ballgame.
Yeah. So if you could do more shipping, would you need to open a second location to actually produce the product?
No, we got a big enough place now in where we at, but if I just find another distributor up there that could, you know, give him the stuff, then he can take it from there.
Okay, I bet you probably could.
You know, but I get all the comments and everything from this page. If anybody has any questions, wanna know how to do anything, whatever, feel free to send a message to contact us page. And I don't mind helping anybody whatsoever.
All right, we have, I think, a little bit of time, an opportunity to ask questions. We've been just kind of chatting, having a conversation. So, you guys are all in the business school, okay? You're all learning about business. Oftentimes, I think it Elon Musk that said, most business school professors really do not know what it takes to run a business. He actually said, and I don't want to quote, maybe I should, but I don't know it. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Drug dealers know business better at times than most business professionals, or most business professors. Okay? I thought that was a very profound comment from Elon Musk at that time. I was like, wow, what a statement. Not comparing that,
No,
but
I
you
understand.
know, yeah.
Me and him was just talking about that on the way over here. Talking about they didn't need to be educated.
So, what do you think? What are your thoughts? You guys are all in business. What do you think? Yeah. Cool.
So, one of the big things with entrepreneurial ventures is the startup. So, how difficult, specifically in a financial sense, was the startup?
The question is, how difficult was it to start the business up? And
All right.
there'll be time to back up. You guys go.
No, we got plenty of time. All right, I'll tell you how I do everything, how I started. We started with the locksmith company, and everything else that I opened, I let the locksmith company fund that. When it made the money back, I put the money back in the locksmith company. When I opened the next thing, did the same thing. You know, but this depends on what you want to do. There's government grants out there and private investors that look at your stuff, and there's all kinds of different avenues that you can take as far as the capital and stuff you need to do it, whatever you want to do. But I was saying in the beginning, when I started the locksmith company, I said, we can just get 10 calls a day and we can make some good money. Now we're doing 60, 70, 80 calls a day. And I said,
So you had a mark, 10 calls a day in the locksmith company would be good. That's what he started out with, was a locksmith company. And now he's doing 70 to 80 calls a day in the locksmith company. But he utilized the locksmith company to kind of start these other businesses too.
I got a locksmith company, I got a sign business, I got a drug test and DNA business,
Can we borrow that?
I got a police supply store, and, you know, a lot of headache.
Well, it's a lot of entrepreneurial. It's a lot of, hey, I see a need out there, and I think I can fill that need better than somebody else. So that's a good thing. Good question. Who else had questions? Want to hear? John?
When you go to different stores, do you have to like promise a production minimum? Just be like, this is the baseline, like X amount of bottles or X amount of jugs before you can get into the store? Or do you kind of just be like,
They'll usually start off wanting, you know, 1 or 2 cases, you know, there's 12 bottles in a case. So they're not going to commit to nothing big off the jump until you have a rapport and relationship with them.
So the question was, do you have to commit to a certain amount of product when you're first getting into a store? And the response is, generally stores aren't going to commit to a lot of product up front. They kind of want to test it out and see how it goes. So good question. Questions over here. So what we got? Now come on, this is way different than me lecturing on class. Come on, way different. Yeah.
What'd you do before you became an entrepreneur yourself? Like, was it something you always wanted to do, or was it just some thought before you?
Well, I graduated in '96 and I played around for a couple of years, and I went to EMT school, you know, working on ambulance, and can't make no money doing that, so that's why the police and fire and ambulance people have 2 or 3 jobs, because all of them combined don't make what a normal person makes, you know, but they doing what they love to do, so, you know, you can't knock them for doing that, you know, but it's, and in 2000, January 2000 is when I started the locksmith company. So that little gap, you know, having a little playtime.
Question up top.
Well, I was just gonna ask, like, do you think like all like negative publicity is bad publicity? Because like that, like Flex Seal kind of had like it became like a huge meme. Like everyone in our like class probably knows what Flex Seal now is.
Yes, sir.
What is Flexi?
You know what it is? No, negative publicity could be good in a sense because it gives you a place to grow from and correct stuff that's happened. That way you can make it better. I ain't gonna say it's good, you know, but you know, it's like constructive criticism.
Yeah, so that question was, is negative publicity good publicity? And what is any publicity? So that's good. All right, I think we have time for 2 more questions. 2 more. And then you get to leave. There you go. Good one.
All these people in here, you ain't got no questions.
How many states do you have stores that sell your product?
How many stores?
How many states? How many states sell your product?
Alabama, Mississippi. We got into Louisiana now, so 4 right now. But I don't know why it does this, but the online orders that we get on our website, it's like an abundance from California. And it's like it works the whole coastline down and up the East Coast. And it's barely in the middle.
That's amazing. So he's got
That's
product
crazy.
going to California, he's got product going up to the East Coast.
California a lot.
Lot of product in California. All right, our last brave question.
So has your sauce changed at all as your business has grown? And if it hasn't, how did you like maintain the same taste throughout the like time it's grown?
We got proprietary recipes that we maintain. We only deal with certain spice companies and stuff to make sure everything stays the same. You can't go switching up and use Joe over here this month and Bob over here because he's got 10 cents off next month. You know, you just have to meet the cost or whatever.
Okay, so I want to thank everybody for coming. I appreciate your attendance today. See you Wednesday.